So today's subject is not going to really be anything about the welding business or starting a business. So if that's what you're watching for today, I just wanted to warn you up front, it's not going to be about that. Just a subject that I felt like it was really important to be kind of talked about a little bit was with a lot of the younger guys that want to get in to the trade or going into welding schools. I've talked about welding schools before. I put my 2 cents out there about what I believe about them. And I'm not judging anybody if you do or do not go to a welding school. But the fact that is very important that I am adamant is that with anything and everything you do, you always have to plan. Always pre-plan. And I'm kind of starting to see an undercurrent going on with a lot of people coming out of school or about to go into school, asking me these questions, and what it's really showing me is either a lack of planning or a lack of someone being there to help them plan. And it's just one of those things that isn't really done a whole lot in the welding schools. My opinion is that when you go to welding school, they're just there for your money so you can learn how to weld and then go on into life. Well, it's not their job to hold your hand. And what I mean by that is before you go spend the thousands of dollars it takes to learn welding through a welding school, I would highly advise pre-planning. Look, with anything that you do, you have to plan before you execute. So when you go to execute on a welding school, first answer the most major and critical question that is asked me quite often, but it's not something I can answer for anyone. I can't answer this for you guys. You have to know what you want to do with welding. I think the voice out there that everyone keeps hearing all the time, these younger guys, is, go make big money, be a welder, it's the best industry to be in. And I'm preaching all that same stuff. But I also am very adamant about letting you know the other side is do what you want to do to make you happy. Do what's going to bring you excitement when you get up and go do it every day. I love to build and I love to create. That's my thing. So welding, metalworking, it brings me extreme excitement and I'm very passionate about it. But I went into learning how to weld when I already had a kind of a career choice in place. I was a pipe fitter. I was a pipe fitter welder. I welded pipe. I learned to weld pipe. I learned to weld on pipelines. I loved pipe welding and pipe fabrication. So that in of itself, as silly as it may seem, is the most critical thing for you to understand before you go into a welding school. Before you learn how to weld, choose your career path. Welding is just a trade skill. It is just a skill. It does not have a life of its own. It doesn't provide for you at all. You have to apply that skill. So before you get out into the world, you have to decide where that welding is going to take you. I suggest decide first before you spend thousands of dollars on a weld school, learning how to weld, what is it you want? Because welding might not be what you want. You just want the thing that you think welding will provide for you. But if you can't say, I want to weld structural buildings, I want to weld, structural things, or I want to pipe weld, or I want to build trinkets, I want to build frames, car frames, I want to build choppers, whatever it is, choose that first. Find the job and then learn the skill to fill the job. That's my biggest pet peeve with weld schools, and until I get proven wrong, which I know I'm wrong in some way, shape, or form, someone will prove me wrong someday. I know that. But until that time comes, why I have the problems with the schools is because it's reverse engineering what makes sense. What makes sense is learn or decide first what it is you want in life, and then get the skills to fulfill your life path. Don't learn a skill and try applying it to a life path. It's so backwards it doesn't make any sense. Sorry I got a little heated on you guys there, but it's something that's so important to me, because I hate misdirection. I hate people being misled, and I hate people just getting chinched out of their money or getting their money stolen from them without proper guidance. And the proper guidance is, before you spend massive amount of money, you need to have a plan. Plan on what you want welding to do, or where you want to go with welding first, and then when you learn the skill, apply it to your life plan. Don't learn welding, be a couple weeks out of school, or a couple weeks of coming out of school, and then asking me, which I love to help, I'll continue to help, but when you ask me, hey, I'm about to get out of school, what should I do now? I'm really open-minded about it. I don't really have any ideas, because I've had this conversation quite a few times, and it's surprising when I try narrowing it down. I have to go through a subset of at least 10 questions to narrow down what a person wants, because I ask these questions like, well, I really don't know. And, and that bothers me, because it's not their problem. It's the problem that no one led them or guided them. No one pointed out to them like, hey, make the plan first, then learn the skill to apply to your plan. So that's today's video. Just wanted to kind of vent, I guess, a little bit there and bring up that subject, is start looking at things in a whole world scope. Stop being so focused on one single little thing, and don't go for the quick, easy cash. Don't go for the promises. If there's anything I can teach anyone on my channel, if Welder Beast ever reaches enough people to actually make a change in people's lives, I hope it is for one reason, and one reason only. I hope it makes people think and reason before they make decisions. I think all tradesmen across the globe, if we were all in sync on believing that, if we all just took the time to think and to reason before we did actions, I think we would be looked at in a lot better way today in the world, since, I've already voiced kind of how most of the world really views us as, lower kind of blue collar workers, that just grunts is what they think of us. And I can see why, because so many actions that we take are just based off pure instinct or lust or desire, without actually self-discipline and reason and putting thought into it before we make that leap. So that was a long way around saying, think before you act. Hope you guys have a great day. As always, I'll talk to you later.